Namaste, Namaste, and welcome to this short video practice of Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath is sometimes called the victorious breath, and you might know it as the sort of soft snoring breath that you hear people doing in yoga classes sometimes. It is sometimes called the Darth Vader breath. Although I got into big trouble for calling it that when I was doing my yoga teacher training. It's also a little bit like the sound that you hear when you hold a shell to your ear. So some people call it the ocean breath. And this breath is really good for bringing us to moments of calm and tranquility. It's quite good when we're under duress. So if you have a reason to give a big effort, if you're holding strong yoga poses or doing strong yoga flows, it comes naturally. But in life situations, when you're under duress, either physical duress or emotional duress, this breath sometimes makes itself apparent because our body intuitively does the things that we need. It's slightly warming, which is quite good if you have a cold constitution or if you feel the cold, but it is generally calming as well. So to practice this breath, you can sit in any comfortable position, but upright is important because of its action on the throat chakra. So we don't want to be lying down while we're doing Ujjayi. And for this reason, it's not used during relaxation. So in relaxation and yoga, our breath hopefully will be quiet and subtle and almost intangible, perhaps. But for Ujjayi, we're going to sit upright or stand if you prefer. You can sit in any position. I'm kneeling up on a bolster with a nice cozy blanket. Be warm, that's important. Any position that allows your spine to lengthen and your shoulders and face to remain relaxed. It's often easier to learn this breath through the mouth to begin with. So if you're a complete beginner, join me by making a soft whispered ah or ha sound as you exhale. So simply breathing in and then opening your mouth and going just as if you were trying to puff onto a pane of glass so you could draw a love heart or something like this. So we're doing this several times, taking a normal breath in, whispering, and what you'll notice as you continue to do that practice is that your exhaled breath is quite long because you're making this soft sound. Let's do 2 more together. Deep breath. And 1 more. Lovely. So even after just those few breaths, you might be able to feel the calming effect of Ujjayi, but it's even more effective if we do it with the mouth closed. And what we want to try to do here is keep that sound coming from the voice box area around the throat and not from up in the sinuses or up in the nose. So I recommend that you start by exhaling through an open mouth and then just simply close your mouth halfway through and continue to exhale through your nose, like this. Breath in. And then continue breathing out through your nose. On your next few breaths, if you need to start through the mouth, that's fine. Let's do 1 more. Very good. So once you've got the habit of doing Ujjayi on an exhaled breath, you can practice several rounds together, perhaps with your eyes closed or gaze gently downward to bring your gaze towards yourself. And just continue to make that whispered ha-ing sound on your exhaled breath. Let's do this together now. I'm going to use chin mudra as well. First fingers and thumbs together and other fingers extended because it helps to promote a longer, deeper breath. Whenever you're ready, joining in. Finishing at the end of your next exhalation and simply remaining quiet and still, perhaps with the eyes closed, as your breath finds its natural pattern and some quietness of its own. And observe the effect of your practice, perhaps relaxing your throat, swallowing to relax your tongue, softening the forehead and the shoulders. And then whenever you're ready, gently blinking your eyes open. And I hope that you've felt the calming effect of Ujjayi in that short practice. But remember, if you're new to the practice or if you're early in your journey in Ujjayi, you might find that a few sessions of practice help you to get the benefits. It's really hard to feel them straight away when you're doing something for the first time. So our next stage with Ujjayi is to make this harring sound on the inhaled part of the breath and the exhaled part of the breath. And so for this, it's the same practice. We'll do it with the mouth open to begin with, and then after a few breaths, doing it with the mouth closed. Start with a normal breath in, and then opening the mouth, keeping the mouth open, closing your mouth when you're ready. And finishing whenever you're ready to do that. Let your breath find a natural rhythm and fall into quietness again. This aspect of Ujjayi, being able to release it so your breath becomes quiet again, is a really important part of the practice. If we spend too long doing Ujjayi, we can overstimulate the throat chakra, which will perhaps lead to a croaky voice or losing your voice or getting a sore throat. So we want to be able to let it go when we're not wishing to use it. So breathing in and out with Ujjayi, again, it's a practice that takes some time to master. It's not unusual for people to make a soft moaning sound, sometimes like a ooh. or to have a wavering breath, because it is sometimes a challenge to breathe in that sort of slow, soft, continuous rhythm that allows the air to draw over the vocal cords and for them to vibrate in this way. But if you are ready to practice a few rounds with both the inhaled and exhaled part of the breath and the eyes closed, then joining me now. Sitting tall, perhaps taking chin mudra again. Closing the eyes or gazing gently downward. Beginning your practice when you're ready, joining in as you will. Finishing after your next exhalation, and simply allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm, falling into quietness and keeping your gaze down or your eyes gently closed. Observe the effect of your practice. Whenever you're ready, blinking your eyes open and relaxing your hands and relaxing your face and your tongue. So what you'll notice after deep breathing is that the breath, when it's released back into its natural rhythm, becomes very subtle, almost imperceptible. And that in itself is quite calming and relaxing. But I hope that you felt the relaxing effects of Ujjayi. Now, you may have heard on that those few rounds, we only did 5 or 6 breaths. And that is really enough with Ujjayi, 10, 15, if you wish. But you may have heard a little light wavering in my vocal cords as well. And that's because it's really hard to pick up the sound of Ujjayi on an external mic. So I am really projecting my Ujjayi to be quite forceful and quite loud. But as you become more practiced, what we really want to achieve is a Ujjayi that is perceptible to ourselves and maybe someone really close to us, but is beautifully soft and subtle so it doesn't overstimulate the throat chakra. So let us try a final round of about 10 breaths, doing Ujjayi as soft and subtly as possible. Maybe starting loud and working towards soft, and remembering that you can simply make that vibration, that sound on your exhaled breath. It doesn't need to be the inhaled breath as well, if that feels like it's maybe just slightly out of reach today. Chin mudra if you'd like it, sitting nice and tall, trying to keep the face relaxed throughout the practice, gazing gently down or closing the eyes, beginning when you are ready. Allowing the breath to become quieter and more subtle as you practice. The quieter and more subtle your breath is, the slower it becomes. Allowing each breath in to fill every part of the lungs, expanding the torso and lifting the spine long. Allowing each breath out to soften any tension from the face, the shoulders, the chest. Finishing at the end of your next exhalation and simply allowing your breath to fall into quietness. Softening the features of your face if you need to, giving one swallow to allow the tongue to relax, and observe the effect of your practice. Whenever you're ready, you can bring your palms together at the center of the chest, lifting your chest and taking your chin gently down, feeling a gentle releasing of the back of the neck. Blinking your eyes open, and when you're ready, lifting your head, opening your eyes, releasing your hands. So you may now really have experienced that tranquilizing, hypnotic effect of Ujjayi breath. So I hope that you'll use it, and maybe in your yoga practice, you'll find yourself using it in moments where you need to be quiet. Perhaps it works for you to bring your body and mind and breath to real stillness, which happens after the practice. And you might find this is a great gateway posture for meditation or some mindful moments of seated practice. But either way, I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to hearing your feedback if you have any, and sharing more techniques with you via this channel soon. Namaste.